So the last thing I want to mention here is sugar substitutes. Because the Western diet has become so refined over the last 100 years, and food processing has become so much cheaper, what's happened is the food market has been flooded with cheap processed foods that have a relatively low nutrient content compared to calorie content. All right, and so what's happened then is people have become increasingly unhealthy from eating this type of food. So to respond to that, the food scientists have come up with sugar substitutes, okay? Because the simple sugars, the mono and disaccharides, have been shown to cause health problems. For example, tooth decay. Getting sugar in the form of soda and chewing gum and that sort of thing has led to tooth decay. Weight gain, because if you eat too much of these simple sugars and they get into your bloodstream faster than your body can deal with the glucose then has to be cleared from your bloodstream, and so it is processed and turned into saturated fat. And then also the simple sugars are not tolerated by diabetics. So the food industry's made sugar substitutes to allow people to enjoy food, but to limit the bad side effects of too much sugar. Okay, and so what I want you guys to do next is to investigate sugar substitutes on your own a little bit. I want you to work in small groups to complete the sugar substitute activity that your teacher will provide to you. And you should be, at the end of working out this activity, which requires a little bit of reading and a little bit of research, you should be able to answer the following question about the weight of sugar-free chewing gum before and after chewing after working through this provided sugar substitute activity. And the question that you ought to be able to answer after all of this is, if you weigh regular chewing gum before and after chewing the gum versus sugar-free chewing gum before and after chewing the gum, why does the sugar-free gum made with sugar alcohol change in mass similar to regular chewing gum, whereas the chewing gum made with aspartame changes in mass to a much lesser degree? Okay, so on your own then, to answer this question, you're going to have to figure out what is sugar alcohol, what is aspartame, and what I'm talking about here about the weight before and after chewing the gum. Okay, so those questions you can answer on your own, and at the end of the activity you should know a little bit about sugar substitutes and why they're so popular, and some things that are good about it and some things that are bad about it. I think I wanted to tell you one more thing also, and that has to do with diabetes. I just wanted to point out that there's different types of diabetes. There's type 1 and type 2. And the type 1 used to be called like childhood diabetes. That's the type of diabetes that usually young children get, and it's a result of their body stops producing insulin because something has happened to their pancreas. A lot of times it's attacked by a virus, and so they stop producing insulin. So those are insulin-dependent diabetics. They have to have insulin in order to survive. Type 2 is sometimes called adult-onset diabetes, and that's usually a result of sort of lifestyle habits, and also there's some genetic predisposition, but it has to do with your body, your cells get confused by having so much insulin flowing in the bloodstream so long, and so your cells stop responding to insulin. Okay, and the job of insulin, and so sometimes type 2 diabetes can be managed with diet, and sometimes they also need to take insulin. It just depends on the stage of the type 2 and other factors. But anyway, this is normally a lifestyle / genetic predisposition. Alrighty, and I just wanted to tell you, since I've mentioned insulin several times in diabetes, that insulin, of course, is a little hormone. It's a little protein molecule that is a chemical messenger that signals to cells to allow the cells to open the glucose channels and allow glucose to be taken up by the cells so that it can be metabolized. All right, so insulin is a little chemical messenger, and when the blood glucose level goes up, insulin is released, and then cells are alerted that they can open up. And so you need to have insulin because your cells need glucose in order to provide the energy to run the body. Okay, we'll talk more about energy in a little bit. So that's it. Enjoy working on your sugar substitute activity together.